Infinifactory, a first-person block-based puzzle game available on Steam. Again, technically in beta, however the potential for a much longer and more story-packed game is evident. Now at a glance, Infinifactory may look like another Minecraft clone, but trust me when I say it's so much more. You play an unnamed engineer who gets abducted by aliens and is forced to make machines using various standardized manipulation blocks, like welders, flippers, conveyor belts, that sort of thing. Fundamentally, the game may seem simple, but the difficulty curve takes a rather drastic jump at about the halfway point. It's one of those games where you have to think inside the box. No pun intended. The game itself is not so much fun as satisfying. Finally being able to deliver the required 10 fully built objects after hours of design and redesign is so goddamn fulfilling. But on the other hand, if you get stuck, nobody's going to help you. This isn't one of those games where if you stand still for more than 20 seconds, a big text box flashes in your face telling you what to do next. So, basically get ready to get infinifuriated. So setting the puzzles aside, the gameplay is really quite nice. It has a nice, fluid, float-around feel sort. Kind of like Space Engineers, but with a bit more control. It makes the designing a bit easier when you're not fighting with the controls. Another thing that's surprisingly immersive is the combination of ambiance and story. Even with the game being only a very modest 1.5 gigabytes, the ambiance and textures look surprisingly nice. Even the skybox looks fantastic for the size. It's obvious a lot of time and effort was put into making this game look and feel as good as possible. Even the little things like the game's pre-roll. Nowadays when you start up a game, you're bombarded by logo after logo of all the companies that did anything with regards to the production. But with Infinifactory, there's a brief loading screen followed by wherever you left off. It's almost like the people who made this game weren't as concerned with their image as they were with the game. And another thing that really surprised me was the story. It didn't strive to be cinematic, but it also wasn't as hands-off with the plot as Minecraft. Aside from the audio logs you find among the corpses of the engineers you find here and there, the only real interaction you get is after each section there's a performance review spoken in an alien language, and then it's back to your cell. It really sells the whole abducted scientist shtick. Like, you feel abducted. Nothing to do but eat your food pellets and build. The entire game I found surprisingly addicting, well, until I got stuck about halfway through and needed to watch a tutorial. But other than the difficulty curve, I'm yet to find a fault. And again, it's important to recognize this game is still in beta, so it's not that long, but I'm very excited for the next update. So in closing, if you're into the whole first-person puzzle game, I strongly recommend Infinifactory. Just so long as you don't mind raging every now and again. And without spoiling the ending, for a game with a silent protagonist and a gibberish alien language, the ending was surprisingly deep for a puzzle game. Excellent work, Zachtronics. Wait a minute. Zachtronic, where have I heard that before? Oh, Infiniminer Zachtronics, like the game that inspired Minecraft. Huh. That actually explains quite a lot.